That's right. And now we will break down as we continue the series here on D1 Softball All Quarter Century teams. Me and Victor on here will break down the All Quarter Century non-power four hitters. And Victor, you look at the list here. What jumps out to you about this list?
Well, first of all, just the diversity of schools and conferences represented here. You got Wichita State, you got Marshall, you got UCF. Now, everyone's like, wait, what's Notre Dame doing on here? Let's remember, everybody, Notre Dame was in the Big East before they moved to the ACC as an all-sport member, not in football. So that's why you see Megan Salati, who is on the list. But
Choli is now Megan Bartlett, by the way, for the record.
Right, yeah. By the way, Megan Bartlett, friend of the podcast, Megan Bartlett. Let's remember that. But Gina Oakes, Holly Spears, Jenna Cohn, Jenny Gilbert. Those last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names on the right hand side of the last 5 names on the right hand side of the screen, Mr. Lopez. We know those names very well, don't we?
So we do. Now, for those that are listening on the podcast feed, I'm going to read off the names. You're right. It worked. It's all in alphabetical order. We encourage you, go grab the D1 Softball. Go to D1Softball.com. Grab the list. You could follow us as we discuss this. The All Quarter Century team non-power four hitters. Just look for that so you can have the list. But notably, yes, Sydney McKinney is on this list. Wichita State, Stephanie Best, UCF, who, yes, they're on this list because when Best played, as I think one of us knows this because he called her games. It wasn't me for a change. Right? NBA Sun / TAC, as was Shellie Robinson at USC Upstate when they spent, as she's a multiple-time ASUN Player of the Year. And as I mentioned in the interview with Shellie, right, Vic, we're campaigning for her for the ASUN Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to be the official campaign starter for that.
Officially.
Because easily. Sam Fisher, LMU. The greatest hitter in LMU softball history, Rachel Roop, who we've had on here, Liberty great, just played. Rachel Folden from Marshall. It's a who's who. Other notables, Lexi Elkins from Louisiana Lafayette back in the day. Kristen Zaleski, who's the current Texas assistant, is obviously was maybe the greatest hitter in Texas State softball history. Carly Spade, with all the records she set at Miami of Ohio. Jenny Topping, who recently was on, now the assistant at Oregon State, played on the U.S. Olympic team in 2004, a teammate with Laura Berg, now on Laura Berg's staff at Oregon State, great player at Fullerton. Janie Gilbert, maybe the greatest player ever at Ball State. Jenna Cohn, arguably the greatest at GW softball history. Holly Spears, I remember her from Kent State. Pescatelli from McNeese, who's played on the Italian national team and the Olympic team. So those are, and of course, our friend Amanda Williams of Marshall, who played long time in the NPF, was also a coach on Marshall under Shonda Stanton back in the day. Legend herself on this list. And of course, Addison Barnard of Wichita State. Those are just some of the notable. There's more names. Again, check out the All Quarter Century team list on D1Softball.com. So click on it there. So that's the list, Victor. There. What's overall reaction here to the list? And you mentioned some of the names that stood out to you, but as far as the names involved, because you and I covered a lot of these players during our broadcasting careers, respectively, with the mid-majors, and has obviously since continued that. But give me some thoughts there.
Well, the fact that you look at the list there, you let's think about this. You have quite arguably the two greatest players in Wichita State history, and added to that is Sydney McKinney. That's a no-brainer. Amanda Williams and Rachel Folden. I remember many a days when UCF played Marshall and CUSA, and those Marshall fans would say, Rachel Folden, get a hit. And then UCF, and then us at the Rowdy Knights, when they would say Rachel Folden, we would say, please strike out. And striking out was few and far between for one. Rachel Folden, Rachel Roop. We just had her on during the summer, non-power for a player of the year for the first annual in the Circle Awards. Erica Piancastelli, that's the no-brainer, the greatest. You can make the argument, Eric, that she is not just the greatest softball player in McNeese State history. She is the greatest female athlete in McNeese history. I dare you to find another female athlete with the resume that she has.
I won't get an argument from me out of that at all on that. I want to talk about Shellie. Obviously, we had her on the show, on
Yes.
the podcast, because boy, if you look at her numbers, just a start. Played for Chris Hawkins at USC Upstate. She talked about the impact he had on her, but 70 home runs, and it was interesting. I asked her about the players and stuff, but a lot of similarities, similar players, her and Stephanie Best. Don't you think, Vic? I mean, their power numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
I would pay money, and I'm going to tell both of them this. I would pay money to see them both go woman on woman, Picture Park, home run derby. Remember the old Victor? You and I are the only ones there. Maybe.
Oh, you're talking about the old school home run derby, like in the black and white days.
Yeah, it's where Willie Mays would go up against Mickey Mantle in front of
an Rocky Colavito
TV show. Yeah, I'd like to see Shellie and Steph go now. Like, I still think they can do it. They'll downplay. I would love to see them go. Let me ask you, if they were to go head to head, would you want to see it at UCF at the complex? Would you want to see it in Delane? Would you do a home and home? How would you do it?
Well, you have to have it at Upstate, you would think. Just
I don't. Well, it's funny. They both do go up to South Carolina. Steph's from South Carolina. That could be a third option. Good call.
Just don't
let them decide that. I would prefer, selfishly, I would prefer UCF or Stetson because we're nearby there, and I would like to be the guy that was on that TV show. You and me could be that. Remember the guy they had that home run derby, and he would just kind of give the slow.
Well, I'll be the voice. You'll be the actual host of it.
There you go. I'm down. So I would love to see that. To see those two, and they're very good friends. So I'm calling that out. I'm going to mention both of them. I'm going to see them both here in the next few weeks. So I'm going to work on that. All right. You can't have everybody on the list. It's never a perfect list, right?
So
give me some names. Give me some names, Vic, here. Yeah, because I know there's got to. I have a feeling you're going to bring up, because I'll be real transparent here. I don't have all 25 on my list. So I'll be curious if we're on the same page, because there was a couple that I would have put on my list.
I want to hear those names, Mr. Lopez, because because you said when we were talking about this off air, when you say this one name, I mean, like, that's a no-brainer. Okay, what's the name?
Correct. You're gonna try to guess?
No.
Oh no. I want you to guess, because you've covered this player. So I'm going to give you time to think about it, because you literally have covered this player that I've not named. You're going to be mad at yourself for not getting it. So in the meantime, I will mention.
Was it okay? Was it recently, or was it back like long time ago?
No comment. It's just
let's
just say it wasn't yesterday. It wasn't yesterday. Here's what I will say while you think about it. Like the clue, you definitely covered them. I had Morgan Zirkle.
That was one of the
on
names
the list for Marshall. I think you could make a case for a third Marshall Thundering Herd. We heard some feedback on that. I agree. I didn't have her. I had her on. I'm not going to mention who I would flip, but I would. Vic, I know you. That's a big rule.
Okay. No. You know the rule, Mr. Lopez. If you put somebody on the list, you gotta take somebody off the list. You ain't back. That applies even for you, sir.
Right. I would put her in for Gina Oaks Garcia, because I would move Gina Oaks Garcia more to a two-way category for what she did at Fullerton.
Fair.
So that's one move I would do. So that's one of two players. That's one I would have made. Again, my list. There's no wrong answers. In fairness,
there are no wrong answers.
But that would have been my switch. You're up, sir.
Well, to your point, Meredith Owen from Stetson, I think she deserves some consideration. Hall of Famer. But again, two-way list. So I couldn't really put her on this list because she was dominant as a both pitcher and a hitter for Stetson when they made that run to the NCAA tournament. Oh, man. Because I'm trying to think. There's a play. Who was the third baseman from Texas State? Was it
Wasn't that? I'll spare you the time. It wasn't that. It's somebody that impacted your career.
That's saying something. I wish all the people on the podcast could give a look on my face.
Last clue: Daytona Beach.
Because
This is
she
fun.
played up at Duke Cookman, didn't she?
Yes, Amber Jackson.
Yeah, that's the
You
one.
covered her. I figure I would be right on the list. Unbelievable player. Helped Bethune win the regional in 05 in Gainesville for Laura Wadden. Who called that regional, Vic?
I didn't call the regional final, but I was there.
You would know because you were there. Amber Jackson, I couldn't believe it. I had her in my ballot. I would have had her. She was an amazing player.
Yes.
Now, what made her tricky is she transferred when Laura Wadden went to Maryland, Victor.
She transferred to Maryland with us. So by rule, we could only
That kind of impacted that. That impacted it. Yeah, from what I understand. I don't know. But I would have in my list, I would have had Amber Jackson and Zirkle in. But but Jackson was unbelievable.
Jackson was just an absolute.
I can't believe it took you this long to figure you people.
I know. I'm ashamed of myself.
I used to listen to you talk about how you guys would pitch around her. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what's more shocking, that I didn't draft Jessica Mendoza before you did last week, or this, but this is unbelievable.
I think the Mendoza is slightly ahead of this one, but not by much.
All right. Anybody else you want to mention as a consideration?
I don't have any real issues with this list besides Zirkle, Jackson. This is a very solid list. Now I will have to say, we mentioned Carly Spade from Miami of Ohio. Her teammate, Jenna Gombolski. I'm pretty sure if she has one more year like that, she could have been arguing to be on current play on the list this year.
Right. If she would have had, right. She could have, if she had a chance, if she had one more great year, possibly that could have been the difference. Now she's on the staff over there at Miami of Ohio. So we wish her well on their coaching situation.
Yes, her coaching endeavors.
That's correct. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the sum of the list there on the deal there, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
And actually, Eric, you want to hear a real funny story? We want to hear a real full circle story. So on the list, Megan Baltzell from Longwood.
Baltzell, yeah.
Baltzell, yes.
Baltzell, yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, I was doing the infamous late night I had Monday night / Tuesday morning. Well, prior to that, I was doing PA announcing and play-by-play for the Women's Major World Series for USSSA on Saturday. The reigning defending world champions had a leadoff hitter. Her name was Megan Baltzell. Yes, that very same Megan Baltzell. Yes. I am not kidding. Yes.
Did you mention she made the list?
The list was. I don't think the list was. Either the list was out, and I wasn't aware of it, or I wasn't aware of the list until I saw Longwood posted, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, she made the list. Yeah. All right, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. That's a fun story there.
Speaking of lists, Mr. Lopez.
Well, one more thing, other notable, because some people might. Our good friend Allison Benning was on the recent episode as a cameo. Not enough years. That's why she didn't make this list. Because otherwise, I only played 2 years at UNF. So anyway,
they were a damn good 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's if for people that are asking, that's why. Otherwise, no brainer. But as you mentioned lists. Yes.
Did you say list? I think it's time, Mr. Lopez, for the Victor A list. Where for those of you who are new to the game, Eric and I have to pick of this phenomenal list 5 players for each of our teams. 5 players. So, Mr. Lopez, since you had the interview with one of these players on the list, I will allow you the honor of going first on said list. And we're going to do snake order, which means Eric will take the first pick. I will pick 2. Eric will pick 2, and we will continue until we fill out our 5-player roster. So, Mr. Lopez, you have the first pick, and just letting you know, Eric, whichever pick you don't make first, that's going to be my first pick. So,
as I learned recently in the past episode with Mendoza, they waited too long. Well, I'm not gonna be messing around here. I'm gonna take. I mentioned earlier. Is Vic gonna? Who would he pick? Staff for Shellie? What would be the drama? I'm gonna take that out of his hands, because I am gonna take the person that I will be. The UCF Athletic Hall of Famer, an A-Sun Hall of Famer, UCF legend, and I'll be seeing her this Friday night at the UCF Athletics Hall of Fame. So I better be picking Stephanie Best with my first pick, because I'll be seeing her as early as Friday night. Sorry, Shellie, but I'm going to go loyal with Stephanie Best. I think Shellie would understand. But I'm going to go Stephanie Best, Victor. And you, of all people, can understand that Steph's more than worthy of this number 1 overall pick, don't you?
Yes, more than worthy. And with my first of my 2 picks, I will ensure that I will be allowed to broadcast at Stetson, even though the people in charge of that may not want me to broadcast at softball at Stetson. I will take Shellie Robinson, now known as Shellie Cousins from USC Upstate, for my first pick, to ensure that I'm allowed in the press box and allowed on Stetson's campus. And for my next pick, I will take Sid the Kid, Sidney McKinney from Wichita State.
All right, good choices there. All right. With my next picks, I am going to go with arguably the greatest hitter in Notre Dame softball history. She's the current head coach at Arizona State, but once upon a time, she was multi-time All-American at Notre Dame when they were ruling the Big East days. She was known as Megan Chioli. Of course, we know her as Megan Bartlett. That will be my first of these 2 picks, right? I got 2 picks?
Yes, you do, sir.
All right. And then my next pick is going to be the person that was probably the most feared hitter in CUSA during the mid-2000s and the late 2000s, and is currently working with the Chicago Cubs. I am going with Rachel Folden.
Okay. Hey, I got no problem with that pick. 2 solid picks for you. All right, so I am up for the first of my 2. And this is the crazy thing about this list, folks. Our 5 are going to be solid, but we're going to be looking at the list like, I can't believe so-and-so was not picked. So with my first of my 2 picks, I will go with a previous guest of the podcast, the pride of LMU, Sam Fisher. And then with my second pick, I mean, you can't have one without the other. When you think about Wichita State softball, you think about Sidney McKinney, and they also think about Addie the Baddie. So I'm taking Allison Barnard, reunited those 2 on my roster. Woo! Love my roster.
Good choice.
Love my roster. Love my roster.
How many picks I got?
So you got 2 left to round out your roster. So just to recap, Eric has Stephanie Best, now Megan Bartlett from Notre Dame, and Rachel Folden. I have Shellie Robinson, now Shellie Robinson Cousins, Sidney McKinney, Sam Fisher, Allison Barnard. You have your final 2 picks.
Wow. That is wild. All right. I can't believe she's still available, but I'll take her. The only Olympic gold medalist in this list, one Jenny Topping of Cal State Fullerton. Probably should have gone higher, but I'll take her as thank you very much in this round. Cal State Fullerton, great. And again, gold medalist, part of that dream team at 04 USA softball. And then my last pick. This is tough. Why do we agree to do this again, Vic? Whose idea was this?
You asked me that question the last 2 times we did this. It was your decision.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might be my segment, but it was your decision.
I was the same guy that thought, hey, it'd be a great idea to watch the Dolphins play the Chargers on an NFL Sunday. What
Oh, please stop.
I'm going to go, and this might be accused of recency bias.
Don't do it.
Go with Rachel Roop, Liberty.
Ooh.
Rachel Roop. Unbelievable. The greatest hitter in Liberty softball history. We've had her on the show. As clutch as it gets. I'll go Rachel Roop. Man.
Oh, man. Wow. So both of my options are still on the board because I figure you were going to take one of these picks. I'm going to go with Erica Piancastelli for my last pick.
The other Olympian on this list, or part of the Italian team, yeah.
Yes. It was either her or Lexi Elkins with my last pick.
Oh, no, this is hard. I mean, one of my favorite players I didn't pick, Amanda Williams. I loved Amanda. But you know.
So just to recap,
yeah, go ahead.
Just to recap our rosters, Eric selected Stephanie Best, now Megan Bartlett from Notre Dame, Rachel Folden, Jenny Topping, Rachel Roop. I selected Shellie Robinson, now Shellie Robinson Cousins, Cindy McKinney, Sam Fisher, Allison Barnard, and Erica Piancastelli. Once we finish drafting all of the D1 All Quarter Century teams, we will put up a poll on the End of Circle Twitter /X account to let you decide which one of us
drafted
the better roster. So again, please show leniency.
Yeah, look, we understand there's 15 other great players that we didn't pick. This is the beauty of this game. You can pick whoever you want and not be wrong. I admit it. I tend to pick a little biasness. Of course I did. All right. But yeah, that's where we're going to go.
Look, I wanted to be allowed to broadcast. Hey, look, I wanted to be allowed to broadcast at Stetson in 2026.
Hey,
so if I didn't pick the head coach of the program, that would be a real awkward look.
At least I could just tell Steph to her face now, hey, I picked you before Vic did.
And I can tell Steph right back, well, I gave Eric the first pick. So
and then you could tell Shellie, hey, I took you, and he didn't. You got me on that. There you go.
This is